You mentioned that you keep an eye on anything that reduces friction or anything that makes things faster, but how do you balance this out with the growing hypotheses that human-centered design leads to harmful companies?
That I think the conversation around harmful companies is immature. I think we're in the phase right now of the demonization, the social dilemma, this, that, the other thing. The reality is we are struggling with adding the second part of accountability. If you do not like what a platform is doing for you because of its lack of friction, you can unsubscribe it. I equate this conversation to alcoholism. We've had a very mature, we're now very deep in alcohol culture, that where now we talk about it is a disease for some people, which deserves a certain way to be dealt with. However, the majority of people are capable of finding their balance. Everybody here, if they're so unhappy and insecure, can delete Instagram off their phone. When I was growing up, magazines were bad guys and girls because they were showing Kate Moss at 85 pounds and every girl was throwing up in their bathroom to look like it, right? So we were demonizing that platform. We have a very immature conversation around social networks right now where it was nirvana when you and I were there early, right? Utopia. Mm-hmm. Now it is this massively demonized thing. The answer is absolutely in the middle, and it centers around accountability. Like parents that allow their children to be in their room, locked in their room for 15 hours want to blame the phone. How about you actually communicate with your child and you take time out of your day to actually have a relationship with your child instead of blaming Snapchat? It's fascinating. And that's why, so what do I think? I think that people, we have this conversation around fast food. Fast food is inexpensive. It's very convenient. And our society has learned how to balance when to eat chicken nuggets and when not to. And so this notion that woe is me, this machine, these evil people behind this algorithm are ruining society, these platforms are exposing us. They're not changing us to the degree that people want. People just don't like what they see when we get unveiled.
True. And I think the more we've even held fast food companies accountable, they've even decided to step up, because if you don't call people out, they could be like, you know how it works. It's like, I just could keep going.
Yeah, but like, here's how they step up. They show you how many calories it is, which is amazing. And I'm excited about that. I'm thrilled for every social media post to say, be careful, don't use too much time. I'm thrilled if Apple wants to shut down my phone after 8 hours.
Yeah.
Except if I want to use it for 9 hours. What people right now are asking for is censorship. They don't realize it. Instead of accountability, they want government interference, or like for these companies to be held accountable. You want somebody to be held accountable? Start with your fucking self first.
And what if you've done that and then it's still a shit show? Excuse my language.
Then you go to the modern conversation. Thank God that therapy is not the stigma that it was 50 years ago.
But meaning it's still a shit show outside of you, meaning the world around you. Like, I mean,
it's always a shit show, Shira. Like, I was born in a communist country. Like this, this entitlement that the world should be like, there's always going to be stuff. We have to think about what we can do about things. You can control your household. Tobacco companies have huge warnings on them now. It's about education.
Yeah.
So what? Let's stop using our phones so we can just sit in front of the television? People you need to be educating that taking a hike or meditating or drinking water, or the information's out there. The information's out there. You have to seek it. You have to want to change.
Yeah. I mean, I think and we can get into this also. This is like so many interesting, kind of conversations, because I agree that I think the more it becomes the norm to ask for those things and the more people are pushing for it and leading by example, then corporate culture kind of steps in and goes, they realize they need to do it too. So it's like, it kind of works in a balance, like in a relationship, right? It needs to be
but to your point,
symbiotic.
But corporate follows humans. If everyone becomes everyone talks all this talk on keyboard warriors, but their actions are different. You know how many Americans are about to not vote in a week?
Vote, by the way, if you're in the US.
who have talked nothing but
I know.
unlimited amounts of shit in either the left or right direction for months and will not vote on Tuesday? The hypocrisy in human society today is laughable. Accountability will help so many people.